Today the European Social Observatory organized a conference at the Center for European Policy Studies in Brussels. We're here together to launch a brand new book that was published in the context of the NEUJOBS 7th Framework research project. The book is called Let's Go to Work, the Future of Labour in Europe. So it's quite an engaging title, it's raising a lot of interest. So we have over 200 people registering for today's event.
The topic of today, namely how to get Europe to work again, is of course crucial, because that is really the key underlying problem we have now in Europe. How we can actually use the potential we have, the very large human potential, which is at times now wasted because people cannot find a job or even drop out of the labor force altogether because they have given up. And this is the challenge for policymakers for the future, and we are looking into solutions for that problem.
NEUJOBS project, during its 4 years span, has produced more than 100 scientific papers. But of course scientific papers are hard to read for anyone who is not specialist in that given area. So we try to take the most important findings of these 100 papers and put them into 2 books. What the book is showing is that world and Europe is facing a variety of futures. So there is no single future we can predict. There is something called friendly and tough scenario, which are for us 2 extremes of how the situation in the overall economic and political development in Europe and the world can develop. And we show how these 2 scenarios influence employment in Europe, skills and overall development of social and economic situation. We show that under both the friendly and the tough scenario, there's going to be a significant decrease in the working age population in Europe, as we know, over the next 15 years or next 50 years, which are the horizons we're looking at. But we show that there can be quite dramatic differences in how much of a decline there is and how Europe can deal with that. However, we also show in our research that this decline, which is widely expected, doesn't have to be as negatively influencing Europe as many people think.
I can hope that what people take away from it is something that gives them insights into how Europe can develop more effective labor policies moving forward. It's a very tough challenge that Europe is facing, and I hope that this book will contribute to thinking on the subject to develop policies that are more effective to develop stronger labor markets in Europe and put people to work.
The book is really very worthwhile to read. It contains really a lot of hard information, and in addition some speculations which are plausible and interesting related to the new regime, they call it socio-economic metabolic regime, which is related to peak oil, peak gas and peak coal. That is a new kind of energies, and the most important point is that the return of investment in these energies is declining. That means, on the other hand, that the value of human work is increasing, and that is the reason why I would say the main message of the book is even it's not the end of work, but it's the beginning of human work.
In the EU, politically, we're at a crossroads for the moment. This should come as no surprise. The new Commission is taking shape, and also the new long-term strategic agenda should be rethought. The whole Europe 2020 process that was meant to deliver, for instance, this 75% employment rate by 2020 will be reviewed. And in that light, it's very important to have research like the NEUJOBS project that really takes this long-term view and really thinks about where our labour market will be, not just in 5 years, but in 10 years, in 20 years from now. And for us, policymakers in this domain, it's important to have this perspective, although we will reason rather in a 5 or 10 year time perspective. But we should not lose sight of the somewhat longer term.